The question, should I homeschool my child, is what we're exploring in this three-part series. I asked myself the same thing years ago, and while it's normal to feel a sense of trepidation at the thought of homeschooling, determining what's best for you, your kids, and your family is at the heart of the questions, should I homeschool my child, and is homeschooling right for my family? In the first part of this three-part series, we explored 5 things about the public school that you can avoid if you choose to homeschool. Well, in part 2, we'll explore 5 things you'll be sorry you missed if you choose not to homeschool. And then in part 3, we'll dive more deeply into the 5 questions I introduced in part 1 that will help you evaluate your answer to, should I homeschool my child? Hey, I'm Kathleen Rumford, and I was where you are now 20-ish years ago when I felt called to homeschool and had to make the decision on whether homeschooling was the right choice for us. My daughter was in public school first grade at the time when I started exploring alternatives, including homeschooling. After much evaluation and prayerful consideration, we decided to try it for 1 year and with our then 7-year-old and 3-year-old, and ended up homeschooling for 15 years. If this series is helpful to you, please like the video and subscribe to this channel for more videos on homeschooling, including homeschooling through high school. So here are 5 things you'll miss out on if you don't homeschool. The first is precious time with your kids that you'll never get back, whether it's one-on-one or as a family. This time is fleeting and they'll never be this young again. And here I'm not talking about just recapturing the lost time that's found in public schooling that we touched upon in part 1 of this series, but I'm talking about the time saved through the increased efficiency and effectiveness of homeschooling. The increase in the quantity of time by homeschooling gives you more opportunity for quality time. We spent much of our early homeschooling years reading together and getting lost in stories, whether for history or language arts, and then talking about characters, plots, themes, etc., even with the youngest. Sometimes that was on the couch, sometimes at the park, sometimes on a walk. Of course, we covered all the subjects and also went on field trips and got involved in co-ops with other families. This gave our family common experiences that bind us together and that we draw upon throughout life. I often hear, Mom, remember when? Because I was part of their experiences growing up. The increase of time together didn't just focus on educational pursuits, but also on character development, values, and faith development, and emotional and mental well-being. With this increase of time and parental involvement, parents also have more of an opportunity to coach behavior and help their children work through conflicts positively. Another thing you'll miss out on by not homeschooling is more of an opportunity to teach life skills, from how to cook to taking a deep dive into nutritional education, from taking care of the house to budgeting and personal finance, and even to running a business. Through more time together, parents can make adulting part of living and learning. Thirdly, the academic flexibility and individualization afforded to homeschoolers gives parents control over their child's schooling within their state guidelines. You don't need to be a certified teacher, and you don't need to be an expert in every subject or topic. No one is, not even teachers, because of course that's not possible. The way for kids to learn more and more is for them to acquire a love of learning. So a parent develops their child's schedule, maybe with input from the child, teaches to the child's individual learning style, which was something I mentioned in part 1 that can be problematic in the public school, and uses the best curriculum for each child per subject, or a totally unconventional method of schooling entirely, like unschooling, where the education is student directed, or eclectic schooling, which is a hodgepodge of methods, or family-based schooling. There are so many ways to homeschool. And if a child is advanced in one subject or behind in another, the parent can meet the child where they're at. This flexibility affords the child opportunities to develop hobbies, passions, businesses, or whatever inspires them individually. For both of my daughters, the passions that they had in elementary and middle school, one was in languages and the other was in fashion, continued with them through high school and college and are now what their businesses are based on. Another thing you'll miss out on by not homeschooling is schedule and location flexibility. Huge flexibility afforded to homeschoolers, providing opportunities to determine when and where your schooling will be conducted. Do you want your kids sitting inside at a desk most of the traditional school day with a 20-minute lunch and a 20-minute recess? I didn't think so. You can take your school wherever you like. If you want to stay local, you can school in your backyard, the park, or the trampoline, stretch out on the floor, standing up and moving around, which is what a kinesthetic child would appreciate. You might travel for field trips nearby or far away, going to an actual educational destination rather than just learning about it in books. Or you might tag along now and then on a parent's business trips or for a vacation off peak to save money and stress. Some families actually road school or world school full time, maybe living on a boat or off grid in the wilderness. Homeschooling also works well for military families, as well as families with a child who's an elite athlete or performer. Bottom line is that homeschooling doesn't need to look like public school at all, unless you want it to. Homeschoolers can tailor their schooling to their own schedule and location, whatever it looks like for your family. And lastly, strong socialization and community involvement will be missed out on by not homeschooling. What, you might say? Isn't the lack of socialization a downside of homeschooling? In fact, no, at least not the way we homeschooled and the way many others homeschool. We used co-ops quite a bit that brought together many families for academic classes, field trips, writing club, gym class, art class, etc. Some of these even included lunchtime, outdoor time together. Plus, many of these incorporated different age groups, which is more realistic than just being with your own age group. They learned how to talk to adults, kids their own age and older, and look out for the younger kids. And all of this was just perfectly normal. And because parents and kids tend to know the same families through these co-ops and activity groups, the parents get to know their kids' friends and families quite well, and vice versa. This is by no means an exhaustive list of the benefits of homeschooling, but these are the ones that I wanted to focus on in this series for you to consider regarding whether homeschooling is right for your family. You can check out my other videos that go into more detail on the benefits and efficiencies of homeschooling, because I don't want you to miss out on any of the blessings that homeschooling offers. So where are you now in thinking about whether you should homeschool or not? We'd love to know. Share your thoughts in the comments and like and subscribe for more videos on homeschooling, including homeschooling through high school and including part 3 of this series. Until next time, God bless.